This is Algebra EOC question 7, which reads, Keith left his house traveling at 40 miles per hour. His brother Tony left the house 2 hours later, traveling at 60 miles per hour. The equation below can be used to describe the situation where h represents the number of hours Keith travels. What distance in miles did Tony travel before catching up with Keith? So this equation shows us the distance that Tony travels and the distance that Keith travels. The 40h shows the distance for Keith, and the 60 times h minus 2 shows the distance for Tony. So what we need to do is solve for h, and h is the number of hours traveled. So once we find h, we will find out what distance Tony had to travel to catch up with Keith, because this equation shows when they've traveled the same distance. So first we'll solve for h is equal to, so we're going to distribute the 60 across the h and the negative 2, and that gives us 60h minus 120. Then we subtract 60h from both sides. 60h, and that gives us negative 20h equal to negative 120. And we divide by negative 20, divide by negative 20, we get h is equal to 6. So now the 60 times h minus 2 is equal to 40h. So that means we can use either side to figure out how many miles were traveled. Since even though this side is equal to Tony, we know that the equation for Tony is equal to the equation for Keith. So we're going to use the equation for Keith since that's easier. So that's 40h is equal to 40 times 6, which is equal to 240 miles, which is answer choice C. Hope that helps.